Be a bee. We can we I've been watching a lot of Invincible Brain Rot. And honestly, it's been incredible. But we can be bees. You'll be a bee. We can be bees. This is good news, Mark. This is good news. We can be bees. Yeah, we don't really need that anymore. We don't need that anymore, although we can probably just sneak over to my channel. There we are. But we can be bees. This is good news. You'll be a bee. You'll be... You'll live for 30 years. This is insane. How strong is hypersonic? Yeah. This one's been requested a few times, so we're probably... Yeah, this one by fucking Beware. You know what else Beware did? Beware did Sukuna versus Chainsaw Man, a video that was a video that was so boring I gave up. And you know, also did the beloved, you know, the let's see, click, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog versus DBZ. It was interesting, to be sure, but also I didn't care. My favorite line from that video is probably, you know, the one where he's like, we're gonna keep it spicy and say that Kid Buu is galaxy level. Oh, what's my take on one gorilla versus 100 men? Dog, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that's like a spite matchup. I think 100 men destroy the gorilla. It's not even close. Like there's like maybe, you know, there's like maybe one or two people are gonna die, maybe, you know, but other than that, I don't think the gorilla stands a chance. Avent, not invent. Why did he scale Goku wrong? Why Goku versus Doomslayer is unfair? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah, this guy just looks like this is probably not really his like his actual legitimate, like that's not what he looks like. It's clearly like an avatar or something. But he looks like he kind of needs, you know, like, kind of looks like he needs to get like I don't know, kind of yeah, you're picking up what the fuck? Okay, we're not gonna pay any mind to that because I'm low key kind of afraid now. But it was like, why Goku versus Doomslayer isn't close. Like that's the video. Yeah, by Chuck, the video from Chuck. Or are you talking about a different video? The video from Chuck. Chuck is a decently respected scaler. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure his videos like are decently well researched and stuff. Sea salt. I need you. Yeah, Dumbsville. I am so incredibly based. I watch Dumbsville. Okay. I am based. Red Pill. No, not Red Pill, but like, let's see. I am based. You know, I am blue. Not blue pilled. Fuck. What's the? I am oregano pilled. Oh, we got a guy called Asta Glazer. Oh, this is one of the guys that sent me the hypersonic video. But Deku versus Jujutsu Kaisen is really embarrassing. Animated crossover. If it's just an animation, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing because low key, I don't care. But you know, but If it's a full breakdown, you know, maybe. Nah. Invite people. Copy. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so this is gonna be the I am conquesting. I am conquesting. How far Ichigo gets in Dragon Ball? The video from Clyde? Oh, I actually have a funny story about Clyde. My video on how far Saitama would get in Dragon Ball. Apparently, Clyde put together like a whole like 40-minute or an hour-long video about that very same thing. But then I put out my video. Yeah, this one. Oh damn. Okay. Yeah, these two are my popular. Yeah. But yeah, then I put out my video, and apparently Clyde was just like, "Damn, well now I can't do it anymore." So that's my funny story about Clyde. That's how I kind of not met Clyde. But you know, spoke to Clyde, kind of. Metal Sonic versus Cell fan battle. Oh fuck. Okay, we're back. Mic issues. We should be good now. But yeah. Yeah, we'll probably watch the Metal Sonic versus Sonic fan battle, but you know, let's see what Beware has to offer.
Hypersonic.
I should probably turn up the volume enough so people can hear him. That'd be good.
Possible to scale this form? After all, Hypersonic has been retconned as non-canon and only shows up in a single game from 30 years ago, with virtually no feats for us to measure. But
I mean, yeah, but like, shut up. Nah, that's mean. I don't want to be too mean.
despite that, I think I've sussed out every possible way.
Did he just say sussed out unironically? I think he did. But we can be bees. Yeah, there we are. Good boy. But yeah. GT is Cell Saga level. That's pretty dumb. Not even gonna lie, I can't really. Yeah, I watch Classic Man D because I'm cultured and smart, unlike other people. But how is GT Cell Saga? Yeah. Please, can you watch Goku vs. Saitama by Sir Splash? Maybe.
Started fitting the pieces together. It made very clear to me why Sega doesn't include the form in modern games, but I'm getting ahead of myself. What even is Hypersonic?
I swear to God, if he spends most of this video talking about what Hypersonic is, I'm going to blow my fucking... No, I shouldn't finish that sentence, but... I'm not going to have fun.
Appearing as the secret unlockable secondary transformation in Sonic 3 and another 30 years of games to analyze for speed and strength, feats and statements. Sonic outruns a black hole? Cool, we can calculate exactly how fast that is. Supersonic beats Perfect Chaos, who destroyed an entire city and almost the world. Awesome, we have an idea of how strong he must be. But Hypersonic just doesn't have any of these examples to draw from and should be basically...
How can I skip 2 minutes of the video and feel like I haven't even like gotten to the introduction part yet? What the What is happening?
Impossible to scale, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do it anyway. The way I see it, there are essentially 4 schools of thought on how to do this. I'll be going through each one and explaining how legitimate they all are.
4? There's 1! What is happening? The 4-minute mark! How could you skip to the 4-minute mark? And that's when the video gets good. That should be illegal. Ichigo versus Perfect Cell. Ichigo got that 100%. What, you take Ichigo for like some sort of scrub? Midoriya can beat Saitama and Sonic. Guys, trust me, I was the dream. You are clearly high, like objectively speaking. But yeah. Anyway.
Starting with the naming method. Sonic the Hedgehog is named after the concept of sonic speed, or how fast sound moves through the air. It has a definite...
Maybe you were right. Maybe we do need to skip to the 4-minute mark. Because honestly, I'm not sitting here and watching him explain why hypersonic is only hypersonic speeds. My brother just got me a McDonald's Sprite. That was not an invitation for you to walk towards me. But we can beat bees. 6 is Goku versus Sonic video. Saitama versus Ichigo by Toaster. Oh yeah, we did. Delicious. Yeah, he got me a Sprite. Dog, McDonald's Sprite is like a different level, man. Oh, hello, Brick Wall. Goku versus Simon the Digger? Or Simone the Digger? Simone? I should not be allowed to speak. I think Enda Z Goku beats him, if I could be honest, but... You know, you can make arguments. I do think even lowballed, he beats Dragon Ball Super Goku. But Enda Z Goku definitely got that. That's just me, though. Nah, McDonald's Coke ain't good at all. You know what's really good? If you get a Coke from like one of those old soda fountains, those are always amazing. Opinions on the current death battle between Kyle and Simon. I don't scale either of them, so I honestly think they did a pretty good job overall. Aside from the fact, aside from that, like the one where it was like the logic where they said Simone could just evolve a literal beyond infinite gap in terms of power. That was a little silly to me, but oh, I love Sprite so much. Delicious.
Measurable velocity. His transformations are also based on this concept. So, Transonic is approaching the speed of sound at 300...
Transonic. Saitama versus Goku by Zeta. This is for bad power scaling, dog. I like Zeta. Zeta's my boy. Like, me and Zeta want to do something together, dog. Like... Next death battle is Tom versus Wile E. Coyote for Tom. Honestly, I don't really have any hopes for that one. It'll be funny. It'll be well animated, probably for sure. But other than that, yeah, it's just me.
143 meters per second. Supersonic means something that surpasses the speed of sound. And hypersonic is when something travels at 5 to 10 times the speed of sound, about 1700 meters per second at a minimum. If we extrapolate from this, maybe the hypersonic form is simply at 5 to 10 times faster and stronger than supersonic. Honestly, this would be a very easy answer that solves the whole thing in a snap, but unfortunately, there are some pretty big errors with this way of thinking. Basically, sonic is meant to be represented by sound speed, and supersonic represented by supersonic speeds. Great, that would mean supersonic is capped at only being 5 times stronger than sonic, and that is obviously incorrect.
Okay, well, at least he's not using naming fallacies, but let's just kind of... How can we... There's like the 4-minute mark around that, but... Just gonna skip ahead a little bit. Why am I streaming midnight Monday morning? It's like 5:50 where I'm at, dog. What are you talking about? What country do you prefer, Greece or Italy? Greece, no diff, 100%. Italy's kind of boring when you take out the fascism stuff. Oh, that's so good. I want Goku to win, but how is Goku beating Simon? Didn't he fight a god? So did Goku. Goku fought Beerus, but whatever. And was throwing the universe like they were frisbees. That doesn't matter. Power scaling is still a thing. That's some like Saitama sneezed away Jupiter logic. Like, yeah, he did. Doesn't mean anything. Cell has high uni args. I never use them. I always go with that Akira Toriyama solar system stuff for him. We can check out the Zeta video if it really is that short.
With calculations, so there aren't any long stretches of flat land for us to actually test this out. I tried isolating different variables, taking a stopwatch to each of them as they spun around the...
I can't be the only one that kind of doesn't like the text thing that pops up in all these kind of videos. I think it's kind of lazy, just like forcing a... I forgot what I was talking about, I'm going to be honest with you, but we're going to keep watching the video.
Same loop-de-loop in various levels, but that requires some pretty precise inputs, and you're combating the physics of flying up a wall instead of moving straight. Eventually, I had to give in and see that some much smarter nerds had something better to say. Those with access to the game data have the raw numbers, and as it turns out, hypersonic does accelerate faster than supersonic, but they both have the same top speed value. Frickin' heck, man, I thought for sure this one would give me something to work with, but we can't calculate their difference in strength through pixel measurements. Although the good news is the next theory actually has some real legs. Going back to the drawing board, we need to consider how these transformations function.
I swear if he brings up the 7 times thing, because you know, the 7 Chaos Emeralds versus the 7 Super Emeralds, and the Master Emerald is basically a Super Emerald. Never liked that logic. I always thought it was really stupid, but whatever. Do you scale the Monster Roost Kaijus at solar system level? No, I don't. I think that kind of scaling needs way more context before you can give it to them. Just because the wormholes kind of function like black holes or whatever. I'm not gonna lie and say that I know the 100% context. You know, excuse me. You know, maybe I do need the. You know. Maybe if I just watch Monarch, I'll know and I'll be like, oh my goodness, yeah, of course it's like solar level or whatever. But the issue with that would be I would need to watch Monarch. And Monarch is only available on Apple TV. And guess what? I'm not watching Apple TV. Exactly, yeah, it's crazy. Do you like strawberries? They're fine. They're pretty good. You don't think it's stupid? I mean, it kind of that theory relies on the idea of like a Sonic of the Master Emerald being a Super Emerald when that's just not true. The Master Emerald is just objectively above the I completely forgot what I was talking about, but what was I talking about? Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me. Oh yeah, that theory relies on the idea of the Master Emerald being equal to the Super Emeralds, which is objectively false. The Master Emerald is above the Super Emeralds. That's just factual. That's just objective. Saitama versus Ichigo? Yeah, Ichigo beats Saitama. I don't want to hear it.
Sonic achieves a super form by using the 7 Chaos Emeralds all together at once, and we see a similar super form, glowing golden power, flight, invincibility, the whole shot, achieved by Mecha Sonic on the Sky Sanctuary using only the Master Emerald. And this makes sense considering what we know in the lore, that the Master Emerald has the power to neutralize the Chaos Emeralds, meaning the one big gem and the 7 smaller gems have roughly equivalent power. And
No, wrong, false. The Master Emerald is repeatedly stated to be above it, but it's kind of that nerdy, kind of nitpicky stuff, which is how I do most of my scaling, but whatever. Emperor Garmadon versus Goku. Delicious. In what arc do you think Goku needs to be to beat... My bad. Yeah. I think Buu Saga. Buu Saga Goku versus Saitama is probably like the best matchup for Goku versus Saitama. Is there anything to say that the Master Emerald is above the 7 Emeralds? Yeah, it's called the Sonic 3 and Knuckles guide. The Sonic and Knuckles manual, man. Like, to be fair, no one really has access to that anymore unless you're a nerd like me, but at the same time...
Because Hypersonic uses the Master Emerald to power up the Chaos Emeralds into Super Emeralds, then maybe the Hyper form is as simple as stacking 2 Super forms, one from the Chaos Emeralds, one from the Master Emerald, on top of one another. That makes sense, right? So how do we scale that? The first way is very simple. The Master Emerald gives a super form, the Chaos Emeralds give a super form. That means 2 super forms. Hypersonic is as simple as a 2 times multiplier on top of Supersonic. Clean, straightforward, easy. It's almost too easy. Yep, there is a flaw in this logic too, but trust me, you're gonna be really happy with what this one implies. Consider that Sonic doesn't just use the Master and Chaos Emeralds at the same time. It's not an addition of 2 super forms. Instead, he allows each Chaos Emerald to be transformed by the Master into a Super Emerald.
Oh yeah, that's a... Namek Saga Goku is more than... Ben 10,000 versus the Dragon Ball verse, how long would he last? Honestly, he could beat pretty much everyone that isn't from the End of Z, and... Excuse me. The End of Z, or Arale. And Beerus, maybe. Excuse me. Yeah, the Master Emerald is above the Super Emeralds. I think that's pretty objective in my opinion, but, you know. People be wild and sometimes. What is the strongest Sonic form in-game? The debate usually boils down to, like, Hypersonic versus Supersonic 2. I think Hypersonic, but, you know, some people be crazy.
an entirely new entity, and once all 7 are transformed, only then can he become Hypersonic. Still don't get it? Let me put it another way. The Chaos Emeralds transform into Super Emeralds the same way Sonic transforms into Super Sonic, and then...
That's not... I actually haven't thought about that. That's not bad. That's not bad logic. Scale Sonic to outer or change your PFP to change... geez. Got it. So... basically, Sonic has actual, no shit statements of transcending dimensionality. Not even like dimensions, you know, like Goku or Simone the Digger. I'm talking like actual dimensionality as a concept entirely. Sonic has statements of him transcending that, which is the unironic, literal definition of outerversal, so I don't want to hear it. Have you read Berserk? I think I read, I can't really verify, but I think I read up to like volume, let's see, I want to say 30 of Berserk. I think I can't remember how many of those big ass Berserk Bibles I've seen, but yeah, I think. Ben literally wouldn't beat anyone from Super? What do you mean by that, dog? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Sonic uses all 7 of them. He's not doubling the original power-up, he's squaring it. Yeah, so what does that mean?
How powerful would a Saiyan scanned by Ben 10 be? I don't know. The problem with saying Hypersonic is the strongest form is that we haven't seen. That doesn't matter. That literally doesn't matter. When people ask what's the strongest form, it's Multiplier. Obviously. Get out of here. What are you talking about, dog? You're crazy. Do I have a figure collection? I have a Lego collection, and then I have a figure collection. My Lego collection is a lot more expansive, but my figure collection is rather limited. I have 3 Dragon Ball Super Arts figures. It's Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Beast Gohan. And then I have 2 Chainsaw Man kind of props, or figurines. I got Chainsaw Man, I got Denji, and then I have Katana Man. So, that's what I have. Hello there, Erizico Metallico. Erizico Metallico. Your name is funny to say. I like your funny words, Magic Man. Ah, delicious. So good. So true. Do you think... Nah, Ben 10 is not scanning an angel. Ben 10 scans aliens, dog. The angels are clearly something more than that. Unless they introduce new lore that kind of fucks with that, but, you know, until then.
I think the difference between Super and Hyper isn't a simple 2 times multiplier. No, it is a gigantic leap, an exponential increase on the exact scale between Sonic's base form and his super form.
That's not bad, honestly. Kind of unfounded, but, you know, it's not bad logic. The only thing we have for Hypersonic, in terms of increase or anything like that, officially anyway, from Sega, Hypersonic versus Battle Wiki, yeah. Let's see. Classic. Let's see. Soul Emeralds, Chaos Emeralds, Functioning Powers, Multiversal. Powered by this, yeah, hold on. Super Emeralds, yeah, here they are. They're amplified with a Master Emerald. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Because from what I remember, yeah, main cannon. Whatever, you used to be able to find it, but I showed a scan in my Sonic versus Mario debunk, and 100 sorcerers versus Gojo. That would be funny, but yeah.
Hypersonic is when supersonic.
Oh yeah. I showed a scan that said that that just said hypersonic is stronger than supersonic, and that's really all the information we have from Sega. It's just stronger. For demons, I bank on. Yeah, we thought that like years ago. Like no, literal decades ago. What are you talking about, Doug? Nah, I'm not giving Ben angel scaling until it's proven. Absolutely not. That go stupid, go crazy. Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
Goes super. And now that we've finally figured out how to calculate
hypersonic being basically like a supersonic form for a supersonic has been an idea I've tossed around in my head. I haven't brought it up really because it's not, like objective in my opinion. But I do think it has some credence. It has some legs to stand on. Where do I scale Heisei Godzilla? I have a guy who scaled him for me, and it made sense to me. He's like infinite 5D with measurable speed. He's not beating GT Goku, and he's not beating Super Goku, but, Heisei Godzilla versus Movie Goku is actually pretty interesting, in my opinion.
It's time I answer the question you clicked for. How strong is hypersonic? First,
that's really funny. We watched half of the video before he gave us an answer.
First, we need to find the approximate multiplier between base Sonic and supersonic. Is it an increase of 10 times, 100, a million? To find Sonic's best feats in base form, we can dig into the games and their manuals, which...
We will not be doing that. The super form is just directly stated to grant like, infinite power many times. So many times. Like an outrageous number of times. Hello there, Rashong. Brick wall is so wholesome. Oh my goodness. Do you think Garp and Conquest can have a somewhat even fight? Who is Garp? What are you talking about? Hold on, let me look this up. Who is Garp? Who is Garp? From One Piece? No! No, he is not. He is never beating anyone from Invincible, dog. What happened? What happened? Dog. What happened in the last 2 days? What happened to you guys? What's his Devil Fruit ability? What's his, what can he do with his hockey? Because maybe. Cthulhu versus Goku. I've done Cthulhu versus Goku a couple times. I think Goku got that, honestly, if I can be real with you. But yeah, let's see what this guy can do. Let's see if he has like a Devil Fruit or something. If he's just like a hit hard guy, he's never. Yeah, I don't think he has a Devil Fruit ability. He could just use hockey, which is, cool, I guess. But unless you're one of those guys that's just kind of like, no hockey, and that guy just gets nagged, then, I guess Conquest is losing that, but... the rat from your basement versus Superman? Yeah, 100%. Now, I know this sounds bad. Garp being, like, Whitebeard level doesn't really mean anything unless you kind of, if you highball One Piece and you lowball Invincible. Like, if you want to do with, like, current Invincible scaling, like Season 3 Invincible scaling, it's, like, small planet level. like 32 times the speed of light, then yeah, it's pretty even. If you do think that Whitebeard is like a planet buster, or like a large planetary. If Curious George gets too curious, he's gonna solo fiction. So there's your answer.
I covered extensively in this video here, where I wanted to see if he could beat the villains from Dragon Ball Z. We know from this conversation with Omega, as well as the game manual for Sonic Unleashed, that Sonic can rather easily surpass the speed of light, which tracks with his best speed feat in base form, running along the out.
That's not his best speed feat in base. Maybe if you're one of those guys that doesn't really believe in higher tiers of speed scaling, but we gotta play the clip. We gotta play the clip. The Spomnics. When the Sonics accelerate. Hold on, hopefully this will be enough, but no, I don't. Okay, we're gonna have to take a visit. Come on, kids, we're going on a field trip to Versus Battle Wiki. Where is it? Yeah, no one cares. Where is it? Get out of here, stupid ads. Trying to keep people safe or whatever. Boring. Supersonic. Okay, where is it? Dog, this shit is so ass. Where is it? Okay, there it is. There we are. Okay. Where is it? There we are. Yes! Let's go! Play the clip, Bart. Say the line, Bart. Do it. Come on. No, we have to turn the volume on. Come on.
When the Sonics accelerate through time, they fix space, returning color and life.
Let's go, baby.
When the Sonics...
Oh, hell yeah. Versus Battle Wiki had like multiversal cream feats. Yeah, that's not... That's not wrong. Like, if anything, that's a low ball.
Outside of Eggman Nega's spacecraft in Sonic.
Whoa. We can't say that word, beware. Or maybe he can. I don't know, but let's calm down now.
Rivals. We can use the stars in the background.
I'm just gonna...
Outside of Eggman Nega's space...
Whoa, you said it again? I should probably stop with... I should probably stop making these jokes.
Craft in Sonic Rivals. We can use the stars in the background, triangulating their movement to the position of the ship, along with the knowledge that the average distance...
Boring. Sonic, go fast. It's not that complicated, dog. I'm Ginger, I can say it. Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Between stars in the Milky Way is about 5 light years. To calculate the speed of this ship as 546 million times faster than light. And Sonic is able to move along its surface, even reacting to and dodging meteors crashing into it, meaning he has reaction speed and movement equal to or greater than the speed of the spaceship.
That's actually not a bad calc. If you wanted to lowball Sonic's speed, or actually, you know what, that's not a bad speed calc for his speed. Before he gets into those kind of higher tiers of speed scaling. Unfortunately, you can argue infinite speed Sonic, since even Sonic and the Secret Rings. So it's not... Sonic Rivals came out in 2006, by the way. And Secret Rings came out in 2007, so... Literally the next year, Sonic got literally infinitely faster, but... Honestly, that's not a bad calc. Look at DMs. I swear, if you're sending me porn, I shouldn't make that joke. I should not make that joke. Oh yeah, the video from Zeta. I don't know. I don't know, dog. I gotta be honest. I love Saitama downplay. Love it so much.
More than 500 million C. Now that might seem outrageous, it tracks pretty nicely with Sonic's best strength feat. In Sonic Battle, Eggman creates the final Egg Blaster. And
best strength feat, and then he showcases, a feat from 2003. When did Sonic Battle come out? Was it 2003? Let me look this up. I think it was 2003. Yeah, 2003 beat 'em up game. Like that's crazy, dog. But whatever.
An orbital death cannon that fires a laser capable of wiping out multiple solar systems at the very minimum. Shortly after this, the android Emerald absorbs the power of the final Egg Blaster and transforms into Ultimate Emerald. Sonic.
Well, if he's willing to give that kind of scaling, then, Infinite being above Solaris, I suppose if you're playing by death battle logic, where everything needs to have, like, a number or something attached to it, then sure. But, with Simone versus Kyle, we've kind of seen that, they can acknowledge higher dimensional scaling, so honestly, I'm not sure what the logic there is.
Sonic then battles Ultimate Emerald.
Oh, wait a minute. What's up? Oh, you can argue that the super form is a transcendental increase, by the way, because some of the earlier manuals, like the classic Sonic manual, Sonic 2, Sonic Chaos, that kind of area, the classic era of Sonic, and the Growing Pains era, but it depends on how you split up Sonic's history, but a lot of those earlier guides would call the the Chaos Emeralds a super substance. And according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a super substance is a transcendental substance. So, logically, you could argue that the Chaos Emeralds grant like a kind of transcendental multiplier to Sonic. Omnimark versus Viltrumark. I don't know, dog. I don't think either of those characters have any scaling. If I had to guess, though, Viltrumark. Nah, it's funnier to me that you get a double KO. Yeah, whatever. That's my little lore drop on the Chaos Emeralds. That's probably what Mentally Ill is arguing. Infinite versus Nazo? Infinite got that, 100%.
Emerald and beats him in under 30 seconds. This means that Sonic displayed, at a minimum, multi-solar system attack potency and durability.
Stronger... I should not say stronger than Naruto is crazy. I love trolling so much. Where is Omni-Man? Where is he? Where is Omni-Man?
So, we can clock base Sonic at far beyond the speed of light with the power to destroy solar systems. Super Sonic can't be that much of a buff, right? Strap in. In Sonic Rush, Super Sonic and Burning Blaze fly from Earth to a separate dimension to battle Eggman and Eggman Nega. We see them soar through space and pass by galaxies until they reach the edge of the observable universe and enter a separate plane, all in 8 seconds, with a travel speed of roughly 180 quadrillion times faster than light. But before you get your calculator out, the very concepts of speed and strength sort of become nebulous as Super Sonic really gets going. He battled the Time Eater in the final...
Okay, well, at least he's not, totally, kind of like At least he's not like... He's grown a little bit since his Sonic versus DBZ video. Like, a little bit. Like, only a little bit. I know, but that's not what you said. If you're going to say transcendental because of those old guides, be my guest. But you literally said infinite power, nothing else. Oh. I don't know, dog. Skill issue. No, I shouldn't say that. That's mean. I actually have this bookmarked. No, I don't actually. Never mind. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Reddit. Yeah, I know Reddit. Ew, cringe. Oh, there we are. Okay. Goes on Reddit for 2 seconds, dies of cringe. But yeah, this is like you can find a lot of good stuff in these guides, honestly. But most of them say pretty much the same thing when it comes to what the fuck is G-Sonic? G-Sonic. The fuck is G-Sonic, dog? Is that Sonic Labyrinth? What the fuck is this shit? Oh no, it's Sonic Blast. That's funny. I'm gonna call it G-Sonic from now on. That's funny. That's way funnier in my opinion. Snyder vs. Superman or Omni-Man. You know, me and the Invincible Scaler are actually making a video on, you know, Omni-Man versus DC. So, keep whatever. This is taking too long. I don't care.
Act of Sonic Generations, a fourth-dimensional being that transcends.
Fourth dimensional is kind of a low ball, but you know, whatever. You know, you can argue a single timeline in the Sonic cosmology is already 4D. Based on things like special zones and the soul dimension, which is never actually referred to as a separate timeline, by the way. That was actually, that did kind of shock me. It's only ever referred to as a separate dimension. And you could argue that one timeline would have multiple dimensions. But yeah.
And tears apart the timeline, and exists in its own extra-dimensional domain outside of time-space. That makes them fourth
Domain expansion.
dimensional in attack potency. If you don't know what that means, dimensions are orders of infinity. So
Wait, what the fuck did he just say? Hold on. I was kind of tuning out.
dimensional in attack potency. If you don't know what that means,
Okay, I thought he said seventh dimensional for a second. I was like, wait a minute. That would be crazy.
dimensions are orders of infinity, so the smallest three-dimensional space is inherently greater than an infinite two-dimensional space. As Supersonic steps into the fourth dimension of speed and strength, these stats literally cannot be qualified or quantified in the third dimension anymore. They're more than infinite. He moves an infinite 3D distance instantly. And this isn't even the peak. In Sonic 06, Supersonic defeats Solaris, a super-dimensional deity beyond time that was tearing apart the fabric of reality, could attack the past, present, and future simultaneously, and was ending every single timeline, an infinite number of them. Sonic won that fight with the help of Silver and Shadow, but the Sonic 06 guidebook even states that Supersonic alone is more powerful than Solaris. So that places
I gotta get my hand on the Sonic 06 manual then. Holy shit, dog. Bakuna versus Sukojo? Oh yeah, Sukojo. Okay, hey guys, I gotta show you something. I gotta show you something really cool. I gotta show you something really awesome. Oh yeah, this is a bunch of the kind of Emerald stuff. You know. Yeah, here it is. I believe this is from the Sonic Chaos manual. This might be this is a Sonic 1 manual because South Highland. The Chaos Emeralds are a super substance giving energy to all living things. So, super substance being above material substance of a transcending substance. So that's that. But yeah, the thing I need to show you guys. Sukojo. Let's see. Here it is. Oh, yes. Oh, daddy. This is Sukojo. I actually this is something that a fan drew for me, but you know, this is awesome in my opinion. This is radical. Yeah, that's, you know, maybe if JJK ended like Naruto, ended badly, maybe they would have had to bust that out, but yeah. We take those. I always have some wank stored in my back pocket in case I need to win a debate. Yeah. When you can't even say my name. Yeah, no, that's my name on Discord right now. Punished Venom Snake. Because I had to go into hiding after fucking Lonk's takes. Not him specifically. But a bunch of the goons from his server fucking invaded our server. I can't say it wasn't funny. You know, I had a laugh, but the fact that I have those guys in the server now, I don't feel safe. It's funny. We laugh. We have fun.
This is Supersonic as high complex multiversal.
Huh? How? I mean, like you can argue it, but how? I imagine he's using the literal definition of superdimensional, which usually clocks in at around like 10 or 11th dimensional. But honestly, more consistently, it's literally just +1 to the cosmology. So, but you can argue it. You can argue it. Still on the 12-minute video? How long have we been streaming? Oh God. Yeah, okay, let's hurry up.
Fifth dimensional, immeasurable movement speed, and acausal destructive capability. So, taking a step back, the jump from Sonic to Supersonic isn't a simple multiplier in strength and speed. It's not even orders of magnitude stronger. It's multiple orders of infinity stronger. Supersonic is specifically a minimum of 2 orders of infinity stronger than his base form.
Oh, is he going to argue that Hypersonic is like hyperversal? Because that'd be really funny.
I say minimum because there is one way to scale him even higher. In Sonic Frontiers, the End peers into Sonic's mind and claims to be infinitely more powerful than any of the gods or monsters he's faced in the past. Now, Sonic did canonically beat Solaris, but it's unclear whether he remembers it or not. If he
Sonic does actually remember Sonic 06. He's like the only character that does. But, you know, he still does, so. That's just a cool little small Easter egg. Clicking on his channel for no reason. No, I didn't crash. What are you talking about? No, I didn't crash. What are you talking about? I didn't crash. Get out of here. Yeah, you know, randomly. I randomly went to Lonk's takes, you know, I didn't. No, my stream did not crash. I will not accept this slander. Shut up.
between 7th and 9th dimensional power. That might sound meaningless to you, but let me put it.
My stream did not go to Lonk's takes. I will not accept. I will not accept this slander. Yeah.
This way. Imagine an infinite universe just like our own. Now imagine that this is but a single dot in an infinite multiverse of timelines, okay? Now imagine that multiverse is yet again another tiny speck in an infinite ocean of multiverses. We'll call this a megaverse. And then that
has a real name, but I'll keep my mouth shut for now.
gigantic megaverse ocean, that's a single tiny speck in a final infinite expanse we'll call an ultraverse. Hypersonic can wipe out this entire ultraverse of infinite timelines with essentially zero effort. That is 7th dimensional power, the low end. Perhaps this level of complex multiversal power still isn't clicking for you. If I could give some examples from fiction, Mr. Mxyzptlk, the 5th dimensional imp that regularly dunks on Superman himself, hypersonic stomps, negative difficulty.
Apparently the 5th dimension in those kind of things, in DC anyway, that's apparently like meant to be a little more like literal, not like a mathematically higher dimension, but like literally the 5th dimension over from whatever. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me, low-key, but whatever.
Ben 10 and his supposedly unstoppable Alien X, not even a blip on the radar. Wally West, the Flash, he'd need to absorb, literally, the entire Speed Force into himself. And even then, these two would still be pretty evenly matched. It would take the likes of a fully fed Galactus or the Beyonder to get Hypersonic to take a fight seriously. Literally.
I don't know about that. I feel like I love the Marvel downplay, low-key, but I don't think that's accurate. I am going to like the video, though, because low-key, I do think he do be spitting at least more than the normal average video we be watching. You know, in my opinion. Make the best outer Goku argument you can make. Bet. So Goku fights Arale before the Tournament of Power, right? Arale has, like, high hyperversal feats from her manga. So, basically, Super Saiyan Blue Goku scales to Arale, so both are high hyper. In the Tournament of Power, Goku gets Mastered Ultra Instinct and unlocks a Transcendental Limit Break. This is stated in the episode title, this is stated in other episode titles, and this is also stated in the guides for the Tournament of Power. So, MUI, Goku, at that point, would be outer versal, objectively. There you are.
Literal, godly beings who rule over the laws of reality. If Hypersonic is really this powerful, it's no wonder Sega doesn't want him around anymore. He would completely break any game he's in, thoughtlessly deleting his enemies from existence with a wave of his hand. But damn it, I still really want him to come back. And
Okay, well, that wasn't that bad. That was a video, you know. I had some fun. Nah, it wasn't a bad video at all.
Tama beats Goku, bro. Please get him.
Okay. So, you know, it wasn't a bad video. It was pretty good. Hypersonic is canon. Izuka says that the reason Sonic doesn't use the form anymore is because the Super Emeralds are in another dimension. Izuka's kind of stupid, if I can be honest with you. Like, low-key, that guy... not stupid, but he's kind of like that guy who just makes up random shit. Can you show me the scans, if you mind? Yeah, 1 second. Actually, I could show you MUI Goku episode. I could show you one of them at least right now. Episode title. Yeah, I could show you at least one right now. Perfected Ultra Instinct. Yeah, here it is. Oh, of course. Fucking. Damn it. Yeah, here it is. The episode title introducing Mastered Ultra Instinct is literally... Okay, well, you can probably already read it while this loads, but it's literally a Transcendental Limit Break, Autonomous Ultra Instinct Mastered. A Transcendent Limit Break, not a Transcendental Limit Break, you know, my bad. This is actually consistent with Jiren versus Hit, by the way. The Jiren versus Hit episode is literally called, yeah, this is an extra dimensional battle Hit versus Jiren. Yeah, an extra dimensional battle Hit versus Jiren, yeah, so. You can argue hyperbole, I suppose, but guidebooks also back this up and say that Goku literally transcends the gods of destruction. So I'll kind of scrounge around for that scan while we watch the next video.
When I look at this Saitama versus Goku debate, I deadass laugh my ass off because this is like seriously not close in any possible world whatsoever, because I don't even know how you guys even get him into the Dragon Ball Super tiers of power scaling, because literally this guy Saitama does not even get past Namek Saga Goku. Yes, I'm literally deadass.
One thing I will say about Zeta is that his videos kind of look bad. No hate to him, of course, you know. I can only imagine that he has so many resources available to him. I'm not sure what he uses to edit. He uses Streamlabs to stream. So absolutely no hate to him. You know, all of us have our limitations, but you know, at the same time, it does make it hard to watch. Would Cell have better attack power, but Metal be faster? No, not even close.
If you genuinely think that Saitama beats Goku, bro, please get him past Namek Saga Goku and then we can start talking. Because in this...
You can actually argue Namek Saga Goku to be like universal. So it's not impossible at all. I do think it is a little absurd, but possible, you know. Anything's possible, though, so low-key, I don't know how much you should probably take that into consideration. You could, though. You could if you wanted to.
This video, I'm gonna prove to you why Saitama does not even get past Goku from the Namek Saga.
Okay, he's gonna prove this to us, so, you know, short video. At the end of the video, I want to be completely convinced by this guy, by Zeta. I want to have no doubt in my mind that Goku absolutely obliterates Saitama in the Namek Saga. Also, for those who were asking, I found the scans. Here they are. When it decides to load, of course. Yeah, here it is. So this is the original Japanese scan. Here's the translation. It is a power that transcends even the gods of destruction. Now, you can argue hyperbole again, I suppose, but, you know, in tandem with the episode titles, which rather blatantly use terms like transcendental and extra-dimensional, it is kind of hard to ignore, in my opinion, unless you don't know about it. So, you know, take it however you will. Take it however you will.
Yes, let's get into it. Starting off as a baseline, Namek Saga Frieza with 50% of his power blew up planet Namek. Now, the explosion of planet Namek didn't just destroy Namek, but it also destroyed an entire galaxy in the process.
Debatable. I've seen the clip that he's referring to, actually. I can pull it up, but, you know, I've seen that clip that he's referring to, and it's very contentious. Planet Namek blows up. Which gods? The gods of destruction, dog. Yeah, I did discuss I did discuss that video. I know, Dragon Ball Kai might not have it, but yeah, here it is. Original Japanese version. It did kind of blot out like a massive star system at the very least, so that's impressive. Unless you consider those like larger stars to be galaxies, which I have seen some like Bleach fans, Naruto fans, that kind of stuff. So, you know, maybe it's not impossible.
And I don't know why people kept saying this feat was solar system level, because if you actually pay attention, dude, that is an actual galaxy. So yes, this would automatically make Namek Saga Frieza and Namek Saga Goku galaxy level already.
Okay, let's find the actual clip he's referring to, because low-key, I've barely seen anyone bring this up. Did you get to solar? Oh, you're referring to the destruction of planet Vegeta? No, because if you use power level multipliers, Namek Saga Frieza is only like 200 times stronger. So it is kind of hard to make like a good argument for that, in my opinion.
Okay, now, where's the bridge?
I do think it's rather weird that Goku just kind of stayed in Super Saiyan. It's accurate, I suppose, but thinking about it in context, it just looks kind of weird. It doesn't feel right. I don't think I'm going to be able to find the clip. Low-key. Unless we use some, sketchy sites, Yeah, what? Unless he's referring to this? Because, like, probably listen to this muted, or Toei's gonna take all my money, but like, I don't think that that's not the clip from the thing. What episode would that be? The coming through every single panel and frame? Yeah, I'm not doing that.
This tier already surpasses the common opinion of Dragon Ball fans who think that Namek Saga is only planetary or star level, because let's just be honest, no one actually thinks that Namek Saga Frieza or Namek Saga Goku is galaxy level unless they actually pay attention and watch the show and not just say completely weird ass takes like saying this, absolute horrendous stuff. But
damn, that's kind of harsh, dog. Like, honestly, I think I've said worse though. So Loki, maybe I shouldn't be speaking. He made it up. I wouldn't say he made it up. I think the clip is in an episode recap. That might be it. It might be from that episode where Goku explains how he escaped Planet Namek, which might be like a few episodes later, so. Yeah. How would you scale Metal's AP? He scales to Sonic, dog. It's pretty easy. And Sonic is like way stronger than Sonic's way stronger than Super Perfect Cell, man. Even if you want to give Cell his high universal statements, which I don't agree with, but if you wanted to argue it, it gets pretty wild, honestly.
This isn't even the only type of scaling to get Namek Saga Frieza and Namek Saga Goku to these kinds of levels, because they can get even higher than Galaxy level, because Frieza in his second form has enough power.
Yep, there you are. So whoever said it was like $10. It's the second form Frieza statement. I didn't agree to it, so because I knew he was going to bring it up. Everyone brings it up, but if you did agree to it, I guess you owe that guy $10. Metal is easily high outer. Maybe if you're a nerd. No. I was about to say, maybe if you're a nerd. We have fun. Ah, crap. But yeah.
Or to destroy the entire Dragon Ball living universe, and the living universe in Dragon Ball is infinite. So if he has enough power to destroy an infinite universe, this would mean that he is high universal in power. Now people will try to say, oh, but it's over time, it could just be over time. Well, yeah, it could just be over time, but this is just going to be a contradiction, because if Frieza
illuminates of an infinite space and galaxy. Oh, damn! Holy shit! Okay, fair enough. Damn.
Can destroy an infinite universe over time, this would mean that he has infinite speed, and in Dragon Ball, speed is the equivalent to strength. So if he has
this is a little misleading. That's generally the case, but there are some exceptions. Like with Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks, he is slower than his power level, so he's stronger but slower. Or with Dispo, he's way faster than his actual power. But Frieza would not be one of those exceptions, so it's still valid if you think that statement is legitimately. Yeah. What's the criteria for Universal Plus? I think versus battle has a pretty good definition, but it's essentially destroying, creating, or significantly affecting a space that is larger than an infinite universe. So a lot of characters actually have like universal plus arguments. It usually goes along the lines of like surpassing infinite power statements or something like that. But yeah.
His infinite speed, then he has infinite strength, which would also just, make him high universal. So that's just going to be a loophole to contradict the downplayers. And what's crazy about this is that
A loophole to contradict the downplay. That's the thing about Zeta. He's a debater above all else. Yeah, it even says so. Doesn't say power scaler, it says debater. Dragon Ball anime debater. He's a debater above all else. And when it comes to his kind of power scaling, it's less so about, like kind of being not right, I want to say, but kind of being, it's kind of more so about being legitimately kind of like just kind of crushing the competition with his superior debating skills, which is fair, because this guy will absolutely annihilate like most people in a debate. Like, this isn't even glazing. This is not glazing. I'm not glazing at all. If anything, I'm like scared of this man. Yeah, you can tell the anime profile picture. But yeah, this guy like obliterated Super Saiyan Ryu in a debate. He obliterated Drip Sauce. Like, honestly, it was kind of like gang violence that you see on, what's it called? Live Leak, yeah. This is like cartel gang violence you see on Live Leak. That's the debate of Zeta versus Super Saiyan Ryu.
a finite power level of 120 million would be the equivalent to mathematical infinity by this logic, which is just, absolutely insane. But, Dragon Ball has always been broken. I've been trying to tell people this, but then they just think I'm a Dragon Ball glazer. Like, bro,
yeah, I do think it is a pretty good counter argument, in my opinion, to argue that like a finite power level kind of can't equal infinite power, because, then you can downscale and be like, okay, well, if Frieza has a power level of 120 million and he has infinite power, what's half of 120 million? 60 million. What's half of 60 million? 30 million. What's half of that? Half of that, half of that, half of that. And all of it, mathematically speaking, would still be infinite power. Zeta versus Six. I'm not sure who Six. I'm not sure if they've debated. I was about to say I don't know who Six is, but I do actually remember watching a couple of his videos, if I can remember correctly. I never really liked his content, but yeah, this guy. Yeah, this guy. But yeah. Based. He's friends with Swag Kage, though, so that's based, honestly. I love Swag Kage. Look at this man. This man's a... Man, upload already. What do you mean it's been 5 months? Come back. Damn it, whatever.
I'm not crazy. I'm not glazing. Bro, the scan is right there. What do you want?
Oh, yeah. If you want to argue that Frieza with with a power level of 120 million has infinite power, you can kind of work the math out to make even like Farmer with a shotgun have infinite power, which I know memes, haha. But if you're looking at his power level objectively, he has a power level of 5. So this guy with a power level of 5 would have like would also have infinite power. And that's kind of the mathematical impossibility there. That would just be how I would argue my way out of it.
Me to do. And don't get me started on these people who keep thinking that the universal Frieza statements are hyperbolic, when this is just straight up wrong. Because both the anime and manga talk about Frieza being universal
you can play skeptic with a lot of these statements, mainly because why would Frieza want to destroy the universe when he literally profits off of the universe existing? Like, some enemy threatens the entire universe. Like, threatening the universe is not the same thing as, like, literally destroying the universe. Has the power to destroy the universe as we know it. The as we know it portion is very important.
When this is just straight up wrong, because both the anime and manga talk about Frieza being universal, incredibly.
Yeah, what was that? What was that statement?
And manga talk about Frieza being universal, incredibly consistent.
Oh shit! I actually. Okay, yeah. The whole universe will be in danger. Yeah, that's not. Downscaling from Piccolo's Moon Feet, you can get Farmer to like multi-continental, so I don't think power levels are a linear metric anyway. They're not. Power levels are 100% exponential, which is also kind of the out that I get, right? Because people will bring up like, oh well, you know, you can get Chi-Chi to like multi-continental if you wanna. Which, by the way, I kind of threw around the idea of doing like a Chi-Chi versus JJK video, if you guys would be interested in that. In fact, I'll make the thumbnail on stream. I'll make the thumbnail on stream, and you guys can kind of give your thoughts and opinions. Oh, I want to do it so bad. We're doing it. We're doing it. There is a thumbnail that I did for Madara versus JJK, which might also be coming out soon. But yeah.
Manga talk about Frieza being universal incredibly consistently.
Oh yeah, I was talking about
others.
these. Oh yeah, here's this one from Dragon Ball Super. Threatened to destroy the universe. Yeah. This is really the only statement that that I've had trouble playing skeptic with, but you can easily kind of. Could Chi-Chi bypass infinity? That's probably the only issue with Chi-Chi versus JJK, honestly. And probably a few other niche hacks abilities, like, if she gets trapped in Mahito's domain, I'd have to look into it, but I don't think she has really any sort of... Yeah, that's just my opinion, though. You already stirred up the Gojo Glazers with Chaozu? I don't know, dog. Maybe JJK should get stronger. Maybe the anime will legitimately give us some like good scaling for Gojo, because they kind of upped the speed a little bit with Toji. You know, it's easier to argue like massively hypersonic Gojo based on calcs and all that, but the issue is that he's just not that strong. Gojo's not that powerful, man. Like, maybe the anime will give us some legitimately good stuff, because I think the JJK Zero light novel has, like, a faster than light speed feat. Let's look it up, but... JJK Zero speed feat. Where's the battle wiki? Because this is something that... Yeah, fuck off. This is kind of something that I've been kind of keeping to myself for a little bit. I can't find it, just from a Google search. Can't. Oh well. We'll I'll look around later, I suppose, but yeah. Blowing up a little island is considered not that powerful. Yeah, I know. It is kind of the disconnect. Gojo is powerful in his own verse. You know, he's very powerful in his own verse. He's the strongest, literally. And it's not even close, like. But the issue with that is kind of, people love to compare characters to other characters, and it kind of devolves into this like childhood playground argument. But whatever.
Statements, etc., as well as Frieza tanking a spirit bomb that has the energy.
This one. This statement's crazy. Let's see. A supersized Genki Dama from the universe at Frieza. Yeah. I never really liked this kind of debate. this argument because it kind of implies that Goku was able to collect energy from across an infinite universe, which is just not the case. This also weirdly makes the Spirit Bomb that Goku used against Frieza stronger than the one that he used against Kid Buu. Unless you think that Gohan and Goten and Trunks really gave that much energy, but, you know. Ditch Zeta. I didn't say ditch Zeta. I didn't say that.
Of the entire infinite universe.
Yeah. Gather the chi of the entire universe. Yeah. This isn't... It's not an exaggeration he is pulling, but... that kind of implies that the Spirit Bomb has literally infinite power, and I've never really been a big fan of that kind of scaling.
Keep in mind, the atmosphere, the rocks, everything in Dragon Ball is made up of energy or ki, and Goku is absorbing all of that matter, all of that.
Man, I wish I could not care. Look at all this blank space on the screen.
Everythingness and putting it into his Spirit Bomb, and there is an infinite amount of this stuff throughout the entire universe thrown at Frieza, and he's just surviving this gigantic.
Doesn't Hunter x Hunter have faster than light speed scaling too? You can argue it. The highest calc you can use is like sub-relativistic, honestly, for Adult Gon, but you can argue that Godspeed Killua is faster than light. And that kind of opens up the door for other characters like Meruem, Adult Gon, of course. Maybe Netero 2 also being faster than light, but you can argue it.
Absolutely massive ball. So overall, Namek Saga Goku would scale to universal plus attack power with infinite.
I don't know about that, dog, because you were just going on about, you know, high universal. So why is Goku universal plus? That's weird, dog. Whatever. It doesn't matter that much.
Speed. And by the way, I'm just using a basic scale for Namek Saga Goku. Here's a highballed version as a bonus. So we know that Frieza's third form, the Xenomorph.
Oh yeah. Frieza has some statements from El Manga Legendario in the original Japanese manga for being able to transcend like space and time or something. Not space and time, but he kind of transcends his dimension. His power is from a different dimension. You know, all that. Yeah, hides a power from another dimension. You can argue that this is a higher dimension, I suppose, but yeah. Damn, I accidentally. Let me.
Frieza's third form, the Xenomorph alien. This is not talking about a locational dimension because that wouldn't make any sense. Why would ki be stored in some random place throughout the cosmology? That's just really stupid. So logically, this could be a mathematical dimension. Now, the thing is, right, we need to understand that Frieza's power level, someone stupid starts to comment, this is a high ball. I'm using the basic universal plus scale to put up against Saitama. I am not using the scale, I'm just using this as a bonus.
Okay, well, you know, at least he's like clarifying. But in my opinion, it's just more consistent to say that the Buu saga reaches those kind of universal tiers. In my opinion, that's just me though. Is it okay if you can show us the scans? Yeah, I got them. 1 second, my bad. You're talking about the higher dimensional Frieza scans, I'm assuming. I got those.
For some of my
Don't worry, Daddy Unremarkable's got you. Daddy's gonna feed you. Let's see. I have folders for all these on my phone, so yeah, where is it? DBZ scaling, there we are. This is a high ball, like 100% wank. I never use it, like literally. But you could argue it if you wanted to. And then, yeah. Hold on. I keep closing fucking... We'll actually leave this open so I have some photos to pick out for when I make the Chi-Chi thumbnail, but let's just open this up. But yeah, there it is. Dumbsville. Yeah. This is from the anime. Faced with the terror of Frieza, whose battle power is of a different dimension. And El Manga Legendario backs this up. El Manga Legendario is actually remarkably consistent with the manga and the anime. Very consistent across the entire thing. Freezer, you know, translation issues, it's not that bad. It comes from the Spanish version, so. Frieza undergoes a second transformation. In his third form, he has a prominent head that gives him a grotesque appearance. Although not many other changes can be seen, his combat strength hides a power from another dimension. So yeah, that's kind of the evidence that you would give if you wanted to argue that Frieza was 4D, if you wanted to be kind of like that. Could you find the infinite hierarchy of dimensions in Dragon Ball Scan? I don't have that one. I don't have that scan. And honestly, I don't think I've ever had that scan. I don't think that scan exists, dog. Unless you're talking about Arale. I have the Arale scaling. I do not have the, you know, Dragon Ball infinite dimension scan. Very funny, haha.
Audience members to sort of enjoy. So with Namek Saga Goku out of the way, what about Saitama? So Saitama is pretty much like MFTL plus because he scales above people like Flashy Flash who can do speed stuff like this. Yeah, so he's like faster than light, master.
I don't know, dog. You can kind of tell Zeta doesn't care. If you want to give Namek Saga Goku infinite speed, it doesn't really matter how fast Saitama is, realistically speaking, because Saitama's like billions of times FTL, I think. I think that's the fastest you can get him with the current feats that he has in the manga. Which is kind of funny in my opinion, but, you know, to each their own, of course.
Massively faster than light, I don't really care. Yeah, he's definitely not infinite speed though. Yeah, Namek Saga Goku is blitzing through this guy. He's hitting the back of his head like it's a fucking I like it cut G. Bro, it's over against Saitama, bro. Literally, I don't even know how this fight is even close to begin with. How is this guy compared to Dragon Ball Super? Yo, can someone remind me what the hell we were smoking back in 2022? This is actually crazy. But yeah, Saitama against Garo was also, you know, doing this. But people think this thing is
doing this. That's funny. That is basically just what the destruction of planet Namek did, though. So honestly, like maybe Saitama versus Namek Saga Goku is closer than we thought. Are you talking about the statement from? Are you talking about that statement from? The fucking American RPG guidebook is dog. No, we don't use the American guidebook here.
Back in 2022, this is actually crazy. But yeah, Saitama against Garo was also, you know, doing this. But people think this thing is galaxy level, but it's not, because the thing is, right, you need to understand that just because there's a few like emptiness of stars does not mean that this is galaxy level or even like close to galaxy level. This is pretty dumb. And also it's a shared feat because it's a combined feat from Blast, Saitama, and Garo.
Not really. It's a shared feat from Saitama and Garo, but Blast was just directing the energy away. So it'd still be all Blast and multiple other characters. So it'd really only be just Saitama and Garo doing that. Koyama? Nah. Koyama often throws his religious beliefs into questions that people ask him, so honestly, it's not like a good metric to use. It's kind of confusing whenever you try to ask him that kind of stuff.
So you need to understand that this feat isn't even all that impressive. In fact, Shonen Jump is literally promoting this feat as threatening the solar system itself. So that just means that most of the
that just means that like the fight was taking place across the entire solar system, dog. Low-key. I suppose that would be the real only, like, you know, like, the actually kind of thing there. Let's see.
These galaxy calcs are probably wrong and are just straight up ignored because the narrative doesn't even hype up Saitama and Garo like that. Oh, and by the way, there is a feat or like a statement somewhere, I can't find it, of Saitama and Garo quote unquote shaking the universe, but this doesn't make them universal or any way because shaking a universe doesn't necessarily necessitate.
Yeah, shaking a universe would only be multi-solar system level. unless the universe is infinite in size. But I don't think this. I don't think the Dragon Ball, not the Dragon Ball. I don't think the One Punch Man universe has that kind of. Has that kind of statement. Maybe, but you know, I've never seen it personally.
Take universal power, just like shaking a box doesn't necessarily make you box level, or shaking a building, that etc. etc. Shaking, like, it's a level of force, but that doesn't necessarily equate to you having power to destroy that said thing. Someone could try to bring up Saitama's growth overall, but we literally cannot even quantify this growth on
Versus battle, I think the highest calc I've seen for this is like 55 times over the course of the fight. But honestly, I'm not sure how. Like, low-key, I still stand by the fact that this is maybe a few times stronger. Maybe.
on how, like, much bigger it brings Saitama eventually. Like, we don't even know when he's going to reach Universal, because a solar system in comparison to a universe is so astronomically small that it may even take years for Saitama's growth to reach Universal.
If you want to argue narratives, the narrative, you know, you got narratives in the Buu saga of characters being universal, so kind of implies that characters like Frieza can't be universal, but, you know, to each their own, of course.
Universal. So I don't even know how this fight in any angle is even close. Anyway, Goku solos badly. Goku solos, Goku slams. He slams your favorite verse. Oh my god, he's the GOAT. De la GOAT, bro. Goku de la GOAT. Oh.
Goku is 100% the GOAT, but that doesn't mean that we have to downplay other characters just to get Goku over them. Goku's the GOAT because you can argue him above any character. That's the thing. Let's see. Other videos people have recommended me. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, I hate DC scaling, dog. I hate DC scaling. Fuck off with the DC shit, man. I don't care. Let's see. What's my opinion on the color purple? I love the color purple. The color purple is very wonderful, in my opinion. It's very nice. Let's see. I think there was one that people wanted me to watch. Actually, you know, it'd be funny. I want to do it so bad. I want to do it so bad. Oh, I love reacting to Long's takes, because it's never not funny. It is never not hilarious, in my opinion. Every single time. Oh, we gotta watch his Bleach versus Tien video. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, baby! Wow! He doesn't actually shower. Zeta has confirmed he doesn't shower? I'll have to ask him about that. I'll ask him. Yeah, there he is right there. I talk to him sometimes. If Long's Takes wanted to debate you, could you do it? Well, if he held back... if he held the debate in his Discord, it might be difficult. But would you lose? Nah. I'd win. That's funny. Someone in my stream saying you don't shower. Okay, so we'll find out if that's true or not eventually. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, we can do that. We got time, probably. It's a 7-minute video? Okay, that's not that bad.
Blood!
Unless it is just the animation. If it's just animation and not really, like, scaling, it does seem to be some scaling, but, yeah. Feels like a long take stream. Nah, we haven't. I've actually been very good. I've actually been a very good boy, and I haven't been talking about Lonk that much, and I haven't been really scaling I haven't really been talking about his scaling on stream. You know, I have my opinions on Discord, but I've been controlling myself a little bit. Just a little bit. Only a little bit. But yeah.
What?
I do think that a lot of the hacks abilities in JJK kind of get overlooked because of characters like Sukuna, Maharaga, and Gojo. But like low key, if Goku had Boogie Woogie, like he'd beat the like him and Vegeta would be the ultimate tag team. Like it wouldn't even be close, dog. Dragon Ball Power Scaler that I think is underrated. I don't know, dog. I'll be honest with you. Me. But other than me, you know, like probably couldn't tell you honestly. Let's see. Excuse me. You know, for all the shit I just gave Zeta, he does have some good videos. Unironically speaking. Who the fuck is Ty Gray again? Oh, this guy. I don't think this guy's ever scaled Dragon Ball specifically. Yeah, he's made very few videos overall. But this guy's underrated. I highly recommend you give Ty Learned a subscription. Because I didn't, you know. If we can get this man to 600 subscribers, we'll be realistic here. 600 subscribers, I'll be a happy man. Who the fuck is Frisco? Oh, the distressing memes guy. Low key, some of this guy's videos kind of freak me out, but that's because I'm a pussy. Rati X, I can't for the life of me. Oh, this is the guy that makes all the Sonic brain rot. Why am I still subscribed to MeMade? Low key, like this is a subscription. Nah, this is a subscription from the old days of the pandemic. Why am I subscribed to this guy? I'm subscribed to the most random people for no reason. Probably because doom scrolling on. But yeah, I swear if this is AI. It's probably not AI, but if it is AI. But yeah, hidden movie details. I don't think I've watched a video from this guy in literal years. Vet TV. Oh, this is the... Yeah, okay. You know. Oh, Shrug Pod! This guy makes some good Sonic stuff. Devil Artemis. 100%, yeah. I don't know. Couldn't give you a real answer, honestly. The generosity, of course, yeah. The greatest power scaler of today, me, versus the greatest power scaler of history. I have my opinions, but, you know, if you have yours, I'll leave you to it 100%. Why would they set my boy Yuji up like that? Yuji didn't deserve that.
Now, this video is going to be different from my usual crossovers, but just watch till the end.
His avatar has a UA uniform on, so I wonder if this guy has some sort of bias. Can I scale Goku to high complex at least? Shit, dog. I think that's impossible. Okay, here's the argument for high complex Goku, just off the top of my head. You have the infinite 3D universe that contains multiple spacetimes, so already that's 4D. Otherworld transcends that, 5D. The Realm of the Kaioshin transcends that, so you got 6D. There are 12 of these universes held together by one timeline, 7D. Damn, okay, I just hit the fucking limit of the wall. Fuck, okay. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe a timeline is 8D, but that would still only be complex multi. Uh, let's see. I think that's the limit. I think transcendental limit break. No, because that's when Goku reaches that level. No, I think 8D is the highest you can get Dragon Ball Super Goku. Okay, fuck it. We'll wank it out. The battle between Goku versus Beerus is stated to be a super dimensional battle in some of the kite books. That'd be +1 to dimensionality, so that's 7D Goku there. You can probably maybe argue that then. No, because that would still only be 9D. You would have to use some sort of crazy wank. You'd have to. Damn. Okay. Zeno's Palace, I don't stand by that shit at all, but you know what? Fuck it. So one timeline in Dragon Ball would be 8D, and then, you could argue that Zeno's Palace would be a higher dimension. I disagree with it strongly, but you could argue it. And then you could argue that, no, because that's only 90. I guess you could maybe argue that Goku transcends that. So 10D maybe, I think. There you go. There's your high complex Goku. Goku is piece of grass level.
And let me cook. In this video, I'll be putting Izuku Midoriya in the gauntlet against various Jujutsu Kaisen characters to show you guys just how busted this kid actually would be if he...
Funny story, I actually recorded a video, fully recorded, a video about Deku in the Shibuya incident. It was Season 4 Deku, to be fair. Oh, thank you, Arthur the Great, for sticking around. Get Goku to Outer. Okay, here's Outer Goku. So, Super Saiyan Blue Goku before the Tournament of Power fights Arale. And then Goku in the Tournament of Power gets Ultra Instinct. I've already shown the scans to prove that Ultra Instinct is a transcendental increase, but, there's that. So that would automatically get Goku to Outer. Boom, easiest Outer Goku scale literally ever.
Found himself in the JJK verse.
Oh, yeah. I recorded a video, fully recorded a video. It was supposed to come out last Friday, on Deku from Season 4 versus the Shibuya incident. And one second. Goku is Blade of Grass level. Okay, there we are. But yeah, basically, I might still make that video, but, I'd have to re-record everything. Because CapCut fucking annihilated the fucking video file. But yeah, Deku gets slammed by the top tiers of the Shibuya incident. Season 4 Deku gets slammed by the top tiers of the Shibuya incident. He can maybe beat Toji because he's a little faster. Or he's actually way faster. But relativistic versus massively hypersonic plus. The issue is that Toji is way stronger. Like, you can argue mountain level Toji, unironically. And then 15 Finger Sukuna would also be around mountain level. He would probably kill Deku, honestly. Like, that's where I think Deku caps. But if you think he can pull a win against Sukuna, the issue then becomes Deku versus Mahoraga. And Deku's not beating Mahoraga. Where is Season 4 Deku? Season 4 Deku, using the manga, the anime, and the movies that were released around that time, you can get him to large town level to small city level with relativistic speeds. Pretty decently into relativistic, too, if I remember correctly. It's like 60% the speed of light, roughly. I'd have to check that, but it's pretty good. Way faster than most of JJK. The issue is that the actual attack potency and durability is not there for Deku. So, low-key, like, if Toji gets off, like, one good punch, Deku's folding. What do you think of Faster Than Light Goku downplay based on... Yeah, that's always been stupid. Just because a character is stated to be faster than light doesn't mean that that's where they cap off. That's the kind of logic Invincible downplayers will use whenever they want to kind of argue... okay, yeah. Look, someone in your server got really mad at me for some reason. Yeah, people in the server tend to do that. Oh, damn. Oh, okay, no. But, yeah. How does Deku not beat Mahoraga? Because his AP is way lower. Like, Season 4 Deku. I'm only arguing Season 4 Deku. Because if you use, like, Season 5 or Season 6 Deku, he actually gets massive upgrades, so... It's much harder to argue in favor of... Mountain level is below country level? Yeah, but Season 4 Deku doesn't scale to country level. Season 4 Deku, based on the feats provided, scales to large town level. And honestly, that's with using the movies. If you actually scale Deku based on the manga and anime, I think he's like multi-city block. I need to stop dropping my mic. But I think he's like multi-city block level.
Starting out slow, then moving up with stronger and stronger characters that might pose more of a challenge to him. Also, some of the fights in this video will contain spoilers for both the...
Spoiler warning, I guess. If you only watch the JJK or MHA anime, maybe don't. Maybe take a break or something, I don't know. Toji has notoriously bad AP. What are you talking about? Toji is comparable to Awakened Maki, and she was boxing up a 15-finger Sukuna. So, what are you on about, man? I think you're capping.
Straight into this with the first person Deku's going to be up against, Mai Zen.
Obviously, Deku beats Mai. I don't think we really need to cover that too much.
Next up,
yeah,
Deku versus...
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Deku beats her too.
Momo Nishimiya. Deku versus Miwa Kasumi.
New Shadow Style!
Miwa solos the verse, dog. I don't know what you're on about. There was a villain who could destroy the world. Yeah, but movie 4 doesn't take place during the events of Season 4. That takes place way later, so...
Simple Domain! This allows me to attack anything that enters the 2.21 meteor radius of my domain on...
Alright, you get the point.
Okay, that was mean. Why'd you have to do that to Miwa? On either the statement or the domain scale. It doesn't really. Toji was like slapping around everyone in Shibuya, dog. Toji was beating the shit out of like Dagon. Megumi thought he was fighting an actual demon. Like he thought he was fighting some sort of otherworldly like deity. That's not even an exaggeration either. 15 fingers no diffed her, not even a 10%, literally blocking her with one hand. Did we read the same manga? I don't think we did. I don't think we read the same thing at all. Like, low key. Yeah, dog. Like, what are we talking about? Look. Yeah, here it is. Where is it? Here it is, yeah. Look at that punch. Yuji is weaker than Maki here. And he, like, yeah. He's kind of, like, fluctuating. Lowest under 10%, yeah. But, damn, that's his cursed energy. That's his cursed energy output. But physical movement seems to be fine. Physical ability. His physical ability is completely fine. The issue is with his cursed energy output. His physical capabilities are completely fine, according to Sukuna himself. And Yuji wallops on him. Are the MHA movies canon? Yeah. There are episodes of the anime that just tell you to go watch the movie. The author himself actually tells you to just go watch the movie. He's like, hey, the animation staff did a great job. You guys should check out the film. which is honestly more than Akira Toriyama ever gave.
None of the girls
Toei, honestly. Yuji was stronger. Maki was doing way better against Sukuna than Yuji was kind of like trying to keep up low key. Like Yuji honestly wasn't really keeping pace with them. If you remember the manga, like yeah, this is the open link. And, yeah, no one cares. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, look. Like, low-key, Yuji isn't really even a part of the equation. Like, it's like Maki versus Sukuna plus Yuji. Featuring Yuji from Devil May Cry.
of Kyoto Jujutsu High are even gonna be able to touch Deku. Obviously, I'm using the manga version of Deku at his absolute strongest, but I'd say the same thing if they were up against like Season 2 Deku. But let's move on now.
Wait, hold on, what?
Say the same thing if they were up against like Season 2 Deku.
Oh. No, yeah, those characters are basically featless anyway, so, you know, it's kind of hard to get them anywhere. I don't think Bro fought Gojo or Sukuna. Yeah, it is pretty hard to argue Deku beats Sukuna. Or Gojo, in my opinion. You can debate it, but, it's again, it's debatable. I do think it's really cool that these are animated, though. And the animation's beautiful, honestly.
But let's move on now. Deku versus Kamo Noritoshi. It's pretty much the same thing here, but
featuring Yuji. Yeah, that's literally how it feels. Like, watching that fight literally feels like you're watching Maki versus Yuji and, not Maki and Maki versus Sukuna and Yuji. Like, this is some S3K kind of stuff. Maki versus Sukuna and Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Oh, and also Yuji is there too. Also, this guy made Yuji Body Demon Slayer after this one. Yeah, that's objective in my opinion. Demon Slayer is like, what, faster than light? Maybe. And, small town level. Like, even the disaster curses could probably do a good bit of damage to Demon Slayer.
I do think he's got one attack that could catch Deku off guard, and I think you guys...
Please react to how strong is Hypersonic? Yes. Not yes. We actually already did that. Might low-key start splitting my streams up based on the videos I react to. Just so everyone kind of... just so, like, if someone asks, like, hey, you can go watch my reaction over there. Honestly, might do that. Not a bad idea, low-key.
Know it too.
Piercing blood!
Dog. That guy is so cool. I can't remember his name, but...
Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Deku has Danger Sense, he could easily dodge that. And you'd make a good point. But Danger Sense isn't a perfect quirk that allows him to predict any attack and come out unscathed. Even when he was fighting Nagant in Season 6, that bullet still hit him. And Piercing Blood is described as an attack that far exceeds the speed of sound. So I could definitely see Deku getting hit by it the first time Kamo fires the technique at him.
Kamu is so cool, man. And he gets shit on for no reason. People have to... He has to try so much harder just to be on everyone else's level, but he's so awesome. And he basically gets written out of the story by Choso.
That said, that doesn't mean he stands a chance at winning. He's just the first guy on this list that could potentially land a solid blow on Deku. But moving on, we'll have the last two Kyoto students that people actually care about.
Mekamaru! Mekamaru! Dog, the Kyoto students were so cool. And then Toto's like the only one that actually does anything. But Mekamaru. I was rooting... Mekamaru versus Mahito. I was rooting for him so hard. I thought he had him low key. I was like, damn, this guy got the fight. This guy got it in the bag.
Deku versus Kokichi Muta, aka Mechamaru. Now here there's only one form we really need to focus on, because Mechamaru in the Goodwill event is getting destroyed, there's no questioning that. But on the other hand, his absolute mode might put up a decent fight, right?
This isn't a great matchup, considering that Deku's first showing in the manga was punching a really big robot, so, you know. Sukuna was literally by an awakened Yuji. Do you remember the context for that? Sukuna was like getting jumped by everyone, dog. Sukuna had just used his domain a couple times, so not only was man drained of cursed energy, but at the same time, like if I remember correctly, he also had multiple, I think he had at least like one limb missing. He was being distracted and held in place by other characters. Like, there's a lot of context for Yuji. And Yuji was using Black Flash against him. He used 8 in a row. Unless you're referring to, you know, the end of the fight inside of Yuji's domain, in which case Yuji was domain amped, and then on top of that, what the fuck is? Yeah, Yuji. The manga actually states that Sukuna was weakened to Yuta's level. That's something that people never usually bring up, but yeah. Yuji was like Sukuna was way weaker than he normally is during the whole thing. But whatever. Moving on.
Then again, maybe not. We all saw Deku destroy that giant robot in Season 1 when he couldn't even control One for All, so there's no reason he couldn't do the same here. And after that, it's GG's. Deku versus Todo.
Todo, baby! The only issue with Deku versus Todo is kind of the issue that Todo is a really good support character. Because Boogie Woogie, low-key, is busted.
Todo's a strong guy, that's for sure. His Boogie Woogie would be something that Deku would have to get used to at first, and that would earn him some solid blows.
What?
Oh, that's my boy! That's my boy! Represent! Hell yeah. Do you do Pokemon power scaling? I do. And the issue with Pokemon power scaling is that a lot of them don't really get past 4D. And even the ones that do, it's like, okay, it's like multiversal. I think it's pretty silly when people say that, like, Arceus can beat Goku. He's not beating Goku. But yeah. Yujiro Hanma beats Deku and Sukuna. That's a tall order.
But that's about it. Deku is still way faster than him, and with Danger Sense...
Man just argued that Danger Sense isn't perfect, and then argues for Danger Sense. Not really I mean, maybe.
He would definitely adapt to his technique. Also, Mahito made him spit out a ton of blood after he connected with the Black Flash in Shibuya. So imagine if Deku connects with a single
we do understand that, you know, Mahito, you know, scales above Jogo, right? That's a mistake I made in my Mahito versus Shigaraki video, but it doesn't change the outcome of that. But, you know, Mahito has, like, large town, small city level scaling. This gets worse with domain scaling, by the way. If you think that domain scale, that's, like, island level at least. But, you know, even small city level scaling with a Black Flash can get to some ridiculous numbers, dog. What are my thoughts on raspberries? I think raspberries are great. I love raspberries. Blackberries are better in my opinion. They have more structure to them. But, you know, raspberries are pretty good.
Smash reinforced with all of his quirks.
Detroit Smash!
Todo's done. Moving on to Tokyo Jujutsu High.
Yuji Itadori. Ah, there's my boy. But yeah.
Deku versus Yuji. The main characters
Yeah.
finally clash.
I'm back.
Yuji's a lot more clash.
There we are. The McDonald's employees getting cooked. That's crazy.
Yuji's a lot more durable than pretty much everyone I put in this video. He's been punched through buildings by Sukuna. He had his gut and his face slashed countless times. So I can see him taking a couple of smashes from Deku and getting back on his feet. But the battle wouldn't go that much differently than it did for everyone else.
I love Yuji, man. This is hard to watch. I like Deku fine, but like do you think cursed energy negs durability? Not really. I'd have to look back at the series, but I'm pretty sure there are examples of cursed energy being countered, especially with someone like Toji or Maki. You know, if you threw like raw cursed energy at Toji, I'm pretty sure he'd be fine.
Deku's speed and power far exceeds Yuji's, and with danger
I want to say debatable, but man is low-key spitting. I don't really have anything to add.
sense, there's no way he'd be able to catch him off guard. Deku versus Megumi Fushiguro.
Megumi, let's go! Oh, Megumi got it. Dog, Megumi summons Mahoraga for the most inconvenience. The most inconvenient, for the most, like, slight inconvenience against him. Loki, I have no reason to believe why he wouldn't summon Mahoraga against Deku. That's funny.
Fushiguro.
Domain expansion! Chimera Shadow Garden!
By the off chance he actually could pull off a domain, it'd be the only way Megumi would have a chance at hurting Deku. And maybe, just maybe, his Demon Dog could land a lethal hit on Deku. But
let's see. Loki, Megumi kind of spams domain expansion and Mahoraga. Like, honestly, it's very in character for him to kind of like spam it right out the gate. So Loki, I could 100% get on board with that.
again, with Deku's speed and power,
The second user's quirk. Gear shift!
that's incredibly unlikely. And we all know how well Megumi performs against extremely fast opponents. Of course, there's one more thing that could give him the edge.
Sacred treasure. Sacred swing.
But that's gonna be for another video.
Oh, you can't blue ball me like that. What the fuck? Have you seen any multi-continental JJK calcs? I have, actually. In the manga, Takaba's okay. Well, we gotta introduce you to my goat, Takaba. In fact, you know what? Next stream is a Takaba stream, but this is Takaba. This is a guy from JJK. This guy's the verse soloer. Low-key, this guy is way stronger. Like, honestly, this is the Itachi of their verse. You know, it's like, do you think Naruto could beat that guy? No, but Itachi can, you know. Do you think Gojo could beat that guy? No, but Takaba can. Low-key, like, yeah, throw Takaba against Sukuna? Takaba's gonna destroy that. Like, low-key, honestly. But yeah, that's Takaba for you guys. And he has a feat in the manga where he creates an ocean of Fanta during his fight with Kenjaku. Fight, in quotations. Megumi fights like the average turn-based RPG. low-key, that's probably the only way Megumi would be able to flourish in that kind of structure. But yeah, he has a feat in the manga where he creates like an ocean of Fanta, and there are calcs that put it at multi-continental. It's a feat I usually bring up whenever I'm debating JJK power scaling, and people are always like, like their brains literally get like fucking domain. They literally get unlimited voided. Oh, good night, Tyler McGolligan. I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name. Domain amped Takaba? Takaba can't use domain expansion. Like, did we forget this? Takaba can't use domain expansion. Not only that, Takaba didn't notice any cursed energy leaving his body when he performed this feat of creating that Fanta. And all of his abilities Duraneg, because it's entirely based on what he thinks is funny. You know what wouldn't be funny? If someone just stood there and wasn't affected by his comedy at all. So what's funny to him, like low-key, this man kind of Duranegs you, if I can be honest. That's why he's so overpowered. Kenjaku only beat him because he out-funnied him. That's the difference. Bro is not Lilith from Evangelion. That's literally, I think that's the reference. But yeah, low-key, Takaba's kind of cracked. And not enough people really give him his accolades. But he is very awesome. And I like him a lot. Yeah, okay.
And there you have it. I know I could have put more characters in this gauntlet, but I didn't want this video to take me forever to make.
Okay, fair enough. If this guy actually I think this guy did animate the video himself. That's crazy. That's awesome, honestly. So yeah, fair enough. It's understandable that the video could only be so long. Yeah, the rest of the video is just kind of him saying, oh wait, hold on, I think...
Full-time eventually? That upload schedule is just not it.
Yeah, so, yeah. Do you know who else would be funny? My mom. Oh shit! Actually, no. I gotta go back. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go back. Like the video, subscribe, comment something. Peak fiction alert. Okay, show this guy lots of love. Let's see, what's his name again? All you motherfuckers with these weird ass names. I know he has, that number of subscribers, way more than me, but, low key. Low key. Honestly, damn, his video's kind of not been hitting. I guess it is. I guess it is because his upload schedule really isn't that great. But yeah, 100% show this man some love. Give him his accolades. Raw Animations. Is that a joke on like Ron? Yeah. But that's that for that. Yeah. A Denji versus JJK video would be cool. You know what's funny about that? Let's see if I still have it. There it is. You know what's crazy? One day I'm gonna make this video. One day. Eventually. When? Don't know. But eventually. And when I do, I will show all of you why Denji is so broken. I might touch this thumbnail up a little bit, honestly, because, yeah, if we move his face down a little bit, yeah, there we are. That's a little better, just so we can see his face. Then Gojo, low-key, if we can kind of do the same thing, if we can kind of shrink him a little bit. Yeah, there we are. I think that's a lot better. But yeah. You make thumbnails on Canva? Yeah, dog. Like, it gets the point across. Like, these are good, right? Like, I think my thumbnails low-key be spitting, man. I deadass think I'm, like, the master of thumbnails. But that's a different story. Blah. Death battle. Now. Oh, I want to do it so bad. I want to do it so bad. Stop, you're making me want to make my own how far does X get in Y video in my own. Do it, dog. 100% do it. Like, always, like 100. I will always encourage you to make your own videos. Like, definitely. Canva is good. It is good, yes. What did I think of Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner? I don't know. It was okay. It was pretty good. I don't really have much to add. You know. I think the outcome is a little funny. Kid Goku versus Gojo. Yeah, you could still argue in favor of it. Kid Goku actually can't get through Infinity, so, you know. Only fight where it's relevant. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yes. I really gotta control myself.
Started with Krillin versus One Piece. We then did Yamcha.
Don't care. I'm so mean.
Versus Bleach. Of the big three, I think it's pretty obvious that the Bleach verse is the most difficult to concretely power scale in the same way you can for the others.
It's not hard. It's not difficult. The issue is that people don't want to accept it. People are... Kid Goku versus Classic Sonic. I think Classic Sonic got that, low-key. Even if you want to ignore some of the higher arguments for Sonic. No, actually, I can't close out of that. Even if you want to ignore some of the higher arguments for Sonic, I think low-key, Sonic still got that, 100%. Bleach is fodder. It's not fodder. Weakest Bleach character versus Shibai. I'm betting on the Bleach character.
Some characters are clearly more powerful than others. Actual differences in strength and the impact of the Bleach versus Insane hacks makes things a lot more challenging to concretely quantify. Still, a verse with such a wide...
It's not. You know, Bankai is just directly stated to be a 5 to 10 times amp, so low-key, it's really not that hard to kind of get some, like, solid multipliers in there for Bleach. Now, I will admit there isn't, like, multipliers for, like, Ichigo's forms, for example, but you can kind of imply some things based on, like, whether or not Bankais would concretely work on someone. Yeah, that's just me, though. Bleach ain't even Lightspeed. Dog, even the weakest member of the Espada is Lightspeed, and that's, like, the middle of the series. You can even argue, like, even basic fodder Soul Reapers are Lightspeed.
Wide array of complex hacks abilities is a perfect match for probably the most unique of the human Z fighters in Dragon Ball Z, Tien. Will the army of Soul Reapers, Quincy's, and Espada be too much for the Triclops, or will he be...
Low-key, you could probably make a good argument for Tien soloing everyone in this video, except for, like, 2 characters. Aizen and Yuha, baby!
Burying the verse in a square hole. Let's find out. If you do like this kind of stuff...
This is something I will give Longstakes, though. For all the shit that I give about his power scaling, his videos are really well animated. I think these videos are always, like, beautifully well animated. I'll always stand by that, so 100%. Oh, no, please don't drink bleach. Used to think that way. Bleach is definitely Lightspeed. Yeah, 100%.
Please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump right in. As is customary at this point, we'll begin with the scaling of the Dragon Ball character before comparing him to the verse in the Big Three.
Let's see what he gives him. Let's see what he gives Tien. I do remember this one really goofy video he did. It might honestly, unironically, be this one. But he said that Tien is like Super Saiyan Blue Tournament of Power level with the Tri-Beam. That was interesting. Does Lonk edit his own videos? Let's see. Usually people credit their editors, so it seems so. Was Krillin busy? You're no Soul Reaper. Oh, fuck. Holy God. That's beautiful.
Like the other human Z fighters, Tien is introduced as a truly powerful threat and is the final opponent of the arc he
Yamcha was also introduced as an extremely powerful character, by the way. In fact, if I remember correctly, the narrator introduces him as like the unbeatable or the powerful or something like that. He's like the unbeatable Yamcha, I think. What are my top 10 versus matchups? I can't really remember all of them off the top of my head. Let's spitball some. I like Gojo versus Aizen, Sukuna versus Demon King Piccolo, Sukuna versus Madara. Excuse me. Let's see. Goku versus Sonic is good. Let's see. We also got Darth Vader versus Omni-Man. That's another good one. Let's see. Takaba versus The Mask. That's an interesting one.